When I moved into Whispering Pines, I thought I'd finally found the perfect place to settle. The neighborhood had all the right touches, tree-lined sidewalks, kids playing in front yards, and families who waved at each other on their morning walks. As the U.S. National Librarian, promoting literacy and access to books isn't just my job, it's my calling. So naturally, one of the first things I did after settling in was install a little free library box in my front yard. I'd built it myself. Weatherproof wood, clear shatter-resistant doors, a hand-painted sign that read, "Take a book, leave a book." Inside were a few dozen titles, children's picture books, novels, biographies, and even a couple of graphic novels. I added a small bench nearby, nestled beneath the oak tree, to encourage kids and readers to stay a while. The neighborhood kids were thrilled. I'd see them swing by on their bikes, grab a book, and sit on the bench flipping through pages. Parents stopped me during evening walks to say thanks, and someone even added a few books of their own. It was going exactly as I'd hoped, until Karen Whitcomb, our HOA president, entered the story. I returned from a conference in Chicago one Friday to find a bright orange violation notice duct taped to my little library. It read, "Unauthorized structure in violation of HOA bylaws, Section 14. A. Permanent fixtures or decorative installations must be pre-approved. Remove immediately or face a $250 fine." I couldn't help but laugh. A fine? For a free library box? Still, I decided to take the high road. I attended the next HOA meeting, violation notice in hand, expecting a simple discussion. Instead, I got Karen perched at the head of the folding table like a judge, gavel included. "We can't have unsanctioned structures cluttering yards," she said. "What's next? Chicken coops? Ice cream carts? We need order." I calmly explained, "It's not a structure. It's a community library. And not only is it compliant with city ordinances, it's been embraced by residents." Karen's smile was tight and insincere. "We're not discussing city ordinances. This is HOA property jurisdiction." I took a deep breath and then decided to set the record straight. "I'm not just a book lover," I said. "I'm Dr. Lena Martinez, the National Librarian of the United States. I oversee public literacy programs nationwide, from D.C. to rural Montana. This initiative is part of a broader national effort to promote community reading. The box is compliant with all municipal codes and qualifies under our town's community outreach exemption. The HOA can't override federal literacy protections or state-level easements tied to public engagement efforts." Karen blinked. Another board member asked, "Wait, you work for the Library of Congress?" "I run it," I said simply, pulling out my ID badge. "And this little box? It's registered with the Little Free Library Network, which has been supported by federal grants, philanthropic foundations, and even literacy partnerships you may have heard of, like Oprah's Book Club." Suddenly, several attendees murmured in recognition. One mom raised her hand to say how her daughter read her first full book thanks to that box. The mood shifted. Karen tried to dig in. "Well, we still need to maintain aesthetic uniformity." Another board member, thankfully more reasonable, chimed in. "The box looks great, and frankly, it brings more value than half the stone fountains people try to put in. Let's put it to a vote." The result? Unanimous support, minus Karen. The fine was dropped, the box was allowed to stay, and a week later the HOA even asked if I'd help set up similar boxes near the community clubhouse and pool area. Karen never apologized, but her glares have lost their steam, especially when her grandkids show up at my library box every weekend with books in hand. Moral of the story? Never underestimate a box of books, or the person who put them there.